Welcome to Wardrobe at the Empire. I'm Catherine, I'm head of wardrobe, and I also have assistant Blue, but she's not quite in yet because I've just come in to put the tumble dryers on. So I thought I'd just give you a bit of a this is wardrobe, by the way. I thought I'd just give you a bit of a backstory of, I'm going to set this down actually, to give you a bit of a backstory of what we do before Georgie gave me the camera. So it is currently 20 past 10 and the Empire has two different costume departments, wardrobes. One on stage left, one on stage right. This is stage right, where I've decided to situate main wardrobe because all the dressing rooms are on this side. So it's a lot easier for when we take costumes up and down, we don't have to go across the stage. And the other side is really big, which is great, but it's just really far away from everything. So I decided to be close to everyone, which is nice, because why wouldn't you? So we've got a washing machine here, washing machine on the other side. So I've already been over to stage right and collected the washing that we put in last night, brought it over, put it in the tumble dryers, and then we just wait for the tumble dryers basically. So we put in the laundry after the show. If we've got the show the next day, we just leave it overnight, come in the next day, put it in the tumble dryer. But if we don't have a show the next day, then we wait for the laundry and hang it all up, and then we can come in a little bit later because we don't have to tumble dry it, which is lovely. But basically while I wait for it to tumble dry, I just have my breakfast and a coffee, and it's lovely. But when Blue gets here, she comes in a little bit later. We've got all these repairs to do, which happens. No one's done anything terrible, just, you know, some stitching coming undone, some hooks come off. It happens during the show. That's what we're here for. So hopefully this will be interesting for people. Sometimes I think that people think that the costume wardrobe life is really interesting, and it's really just a lot of laundry. Oh, here's Blue. Say hi.
Hey.
This is our assistant Blue. So yeah, hopefully it'll answer some questions, maybe if you want to go into this industry. Or it will just be slightly boring and us doing a lot of laundry and a bit of sewing and some ironing. Who knows?
Usual.
Hello. So first load of tumble drying laundry is done, and we've separated it into two piles. So this pile here is all ironing, which we'll do in a second, and this pile here is all the smaller things like tights and socks, which go into all of these boxes that we've labelled out. So we've got female ensemble, male ensemble, and then this is dressing room, Adam and Ace's dressing room, Christina and Georgie, can't remember what floors they're on, floor 3? No, 2, 2, 1. So we kind of separate them into who's on what floor, so that makes it easier. And yeah, in this box goes all their tights, like tops, there's some in here already, little tops, little show pants, anything that's little small, mic belts, wig caps, so that they're all together, and we deliver them to their dressing rooms before the show. So they've got everything together, and then at the end of the show they all have a laundry bag, and everything that gets washed goes into the laundry bag. We collect all them, put the washing machines on, and start this process again.
With a pint in between.
So I should have mentioned that we name literally everything. So these are Alana's tights, and all the socks and everything, so that we know which box they go into and whose is whose. And the socks aren't quite dry, so you just want me to put them back into tumble dryer. So we'll go do the ironing and then come back to that in a minute. So out of wardrobe, these are the big trundles, by the way, that the costumes all arrive in. I'll talk to you about that in a minute. There's this one, there's two, and they're all labelled with what's in them, and then you open them up, and they're like big hanging rounds. There's a couple of costumes that we're not using, or duplicates, and then all baskets and things go in here, which is interesting. So there's a third one of these in the corridor as well, and then there's also big boxes as well. So this is the Wigs Room, which is opposite wardrobe, but we just use it as laundry
because we do have wigs, but they're not like high maintenance wigs.
So while I'm ironing, I thought I'd maybe tell you about what we did before we got into the theatre. So we rehearsed in a different venue, and all the costumes arrived on the first day. We unpacked them all, made sure that everything was there, and then we fit them all. So we got everyone in, all the principals in for their own fitting, and then all the ensemble, male and female together, which just makes it a bit easier for if you can, with the ensemble, because they've all the same costumes, you can swap them around if they don't fit, or if like, you know, someone suits something a little bit better than the other. Yeah, it just makes it a bit easier, and also it's quite nice to have them all together because they're all in the same costume and they spend all the time on stage together. But yeah, so that's always really fun. So we fit them, make sure everything fits, see if they've got anyone has any concerns, maybe they're not going to be able to do some of the routines in a costume, maybe see what we can do. And then once they're all fit, this is including, you know, literally everything, hats, accessories, shoes, we start altering them. So people do it in slightly different ways. Some people write like notes on, well, everyone writes notes on what the alterations they need. So you'd write, you know, the character name that they're playing, the actor's name, and then you know, what needs doing. So maybe, you know, something's a little bit big, so like, oh, I'll take it in a bit, take it in like an inch each side, and we'd pin it on them so it's really accurate. And then when you come back later in the week, when you come to something, you don't have to think, you know, oh, what was that we were meant to be doing to that, because you've got your notes and you know. So yeah, so that's really fun. And then we alter everything, and we also, because everyone's rehearsing in the same venue, it's really helpful because when everyone's rehearsing, things come up to do with wardrobe that you can chat about, and we're all in the same venue. So for instance, like, you might be like, oh, actually we've added this really funny bit in where someone's going to be wearing a tutu, can you get us a tutu? Or, you know, as I said before, when we say to them, you know, oh, do you think everything's going to be okay in this costume? They're like, oh, actually now I'm doing this really big routine where I'm, you know, falling off a wall. I don't think I'm going to be able to do it in this. So then in like their costume, so we have a discussion with the actor and the director, like everyone involved, to see, you know, what are we going to do? Are we going to change the routine, change the costume, bit of both? And so it happens. So it's really useful. And at the end of every day, rehearsal day, we get sent rehearsal notes from the DSM, which basically tell every department anything that's come up that they need to be aware of. So, for instance, one of ours was that the boys have a quick change and it's going to happen stage left, which makes it really helpful for us when we move to the venue, because then we know where to put everyone's costumes. So then at the end of that rehearsal week, sometimes it's longer than a week, but ours was a week, they do a run. So they do like the whole show, start to finish, with, you know, bits of props, how they've set it. And what I do then is I sit and I'm watching where people exit and enter when they need to change costumes, so I know which side of stage they're going to need to change, how quick that change is, and we write it all down on our what's called a costume plot, which is before we've even started rehearsal, go through the script and like, right, who's in which scene, and I mark it all on a chart, which I can show you in a second when I've done the ironing. Yeah, so then that's basically like the rehearsal process. So then by the end of that week, everything should fit. We should have everything that's been requested, and we should be ready to transfer to the venue. So then we pack everything up again, and it comes in the trucks over back in those, at the back of those trundles that I just showed you. Come over to the venue, unpack it all again, and we start setting up the venue. So we put things in dressing rooms, that's when we put all like their boxes, we set all their tights and their socks, and everything else that goes in those little boxes, we shout like mic belt and everything, then we're ready to tech. And tech is a very odd process. I'm sure maybe Georgie's probably taught you about what tech is before. You just go through the show and like practice everything basically and work out anything that isn't gonna work or is slightly difficult, could go wrong. So that's when we do practice quick changes. We're actually quite lucky in this show that we don't have that many quick changes. The boys have, the male ensemble have one fairly quick change, which we're hoping to maybe show you later because they are all underdressed and everything. So obviously we can't show you a lot of stuff because it's not appropriate. So yeah, we figure out all of that, do it in real time with the music and everything, so then we know where stuff needs to be. Sometimes things slightly change, sometimes things don't work that worked before. And it's just really where the show gets, like, comes together. And also we figure out things like, actually, someone keeps standing on their dress, can we make it a little bit shorter? Or something like that. Yeah, and then we go for dress runs. Dress runs are basically exactly that. You just do the show without an audience, run it as it would be if we had an audience. But it's also still another practice, like sometimes things still don't go quite to plan, but that's okay. That's what they're for. But tech and drag, like tech week is it's a hard week for everyone. There's normally quite a bit to do, but that's all part of the fun. Apparently ironing takes too long because the camera just cut out on me, which is really funny. I'm also now really paranoid that I was judging my really bad ironing skills. But it's fine, it works. They're not greased.
Hello again. So the ironing is all done. It cut out halfway through because apparently ironing isn't that interesting, which it isn't, to be fair. But it's got to be done. I actually don't mind ironing, so that's okay. Everybody's boxes are done. I've stacked them up into which floor they're on. So actually this one should be on top of this one as well. And we've also got boxes down here. One is stage right, one is stage left. So when the lovely dresses get here, in about, it's now, what time is it? It's now 11:45. So it takes nearly 2 hours to do all the drying and ironing and repairing of everything. Yeah, when the dresses get here, they will very lovely take all the boxes down to the dressing rooms, collect finale costumes, any costumes that should be down on stage that are currently in their dressing rooms from last night's performance, and they'll take these costumes over here to dressing rooms for their beginners costumes, and these boxes down to stage left and stage right, and we'll preset down on stage in the quick change areas, which I will show you in a bit when they get here. And then yeah, we can't film too much during the show for obvious reasons, but hopefully we'll be able to show you some stuff that we do and show you kind of what happens, what we do during the show. This isn't a particularly busy show. Every show is kind of different. Every production's different. I've had productions where it's absolutely mental, you don't sit down. There's so much laundry, there's so much washing. But it's always busy. And there's this production, we actually have a couple of gaps where we have some fun with the cast. And I even managed to do some repairs during the show, which is really good because then it means we don't have to do it in the morning. So I will see you in a bit once the dresses get here, and we'll show you the quick change areas down on stage. So the dresses have now taken the boxes, and I'm going to go down to stage. I forgot to mention that we're on level 5, by the way. That's the other trundle. We're on level 5, so there's a lot of stairs. We do have a lift, but we're not allowed to use it after the half-hour call. So the half is 35 minutes before the show starts. So I thought, let's go down the lift and try and be healthy. Yes, I am also wearing slippers. So go past all the dressing rooms. You could get a bit dizzy going down these stairs sometimes. It's also a really long way up when someone forgets to bring something down to stage. And you have to run up 5 flights of stairs or 3 flights of stairs. So, stage. Oh look, here's the dancers doing their warm-up. It's already set for the bed. We've got some character stuff. This is stage left. Crocodile. More set. Massive octopus. I'm sure Georgie's probably shown you all of this. This is the pirate ship. Their hats on. This is stage right quick change. So it's all covered so no one can see anything. Got some chairs outside. And then we go through. It's very festive in here. We're having a bit of competition, stage left, stage right, for who has the best decorations. So we've got a table with all like accessories on. So we've got all the Netherlands wigs, Smee's hat, not Smee's hat, Cutlass Kenneth's hat, mermaid wigs, the essentials, hairspray, hair clips all over the place that I will tidy up in a second. And then lots and lots of chairs. All the costumes on the rail. So everyone that gets changed over here has their own chair. So this is Freya's, Beth's, and then under the chair is all of their shoes that they wear. And then we set their costumes on their chair and they know exactly where it's going. And when in a sec we'll show you how we set the costumes. And then we've got the boys over this side, Connor and Tony. And then we've got these massive character heads. This is the lobster head. And we've got an octopus over here for our under the sea scene. So eventually this all gets set out. But we also have like, you know, finale costumes and stuff. So we set them out during the show. Hopefully we'll be able to show you some of this stuff. Like some of the stuff we set during the show as well. Because like the sea creatures are really interesting. And we also have massive feather headdresses for the ensemble for the finale, which is quite fun as well. But yeah, during the show basically our job is to set stuff out, make sure it's all ready for their next change, and you know, help them get in and out of it, do little hooks and eyes up that they can't do up themselves, and stuff like that. So yeah. Oh, here's Joan, but she doesn't want to be in the vlog. Oh, she says hi to her daughter Rosie. Hi daughter Rosie. We know she watches the vlogs. So, here's the boys' pirate stuff set up. So these are actually Netherlander shorts, but they underdress them. Because the male ensemble have a lot of quick changes. And look, this side's already set up. Irene's already done it. This side's a lot smaller, which is a bit annoying because this is actually where most of the quick changes happen. Oh, and they'll do exactly the same as we do over the other side. I have to show you this costume though. This is Hook's finale costume. And it's probably one of my favourite costumes. It's just so lovely. It's all like brocade. And he's got these great little crocodile epaulets, which are really cool. And a nice little waistcoat. And a skull and crossbone. And obviously, you know, it's not as festive over here because we're going to win the competition on stage right. So we're back over on stage right. We are now all preset. So we've got George's pirate, Charlie's pirate, Tyler's pirate, Connor's pirate, Tony's first costume change, and then down here we have Nana the dog, who Connor plays. I don't know if you've met Nana yet. This is Nana the dog. And then I'm just going to show you how we preset the costume. So down here we already have Alana's Netherlanders costume, which is the second costume she wears. So we put that underneath, and then the first costume they wear, like Georgia, is the pirate costume. So hopefully I'll be able to angle this. So we put it down, the first thing they put on to the last thing they put on. So the last thing they put on is that little cummerbund, so we put that down first, and then the overskirt, and we put it so that the zips
facing upwards. So put it down like this. So then they can just pick it up, put it on, and then we'll do it up and back for them. And then before their overskirt goes on, they have to put their underskirt on. So we do exactly the same with that, openings at the back, fastenings at the back. This is quite a big costume. And then the top, same thing, open it all up, inside facing up, so they can literally pick it up, put it on, and do them up. And then they've also got a headband. Some of them put their headbands on first, some of them put them last. Just depends. So we'll just pop that on top. And also some shoe pants. So we put that on top of there. And then they'll come in, put all that one on, that one will go. They'll go do their pirate, come back. We'll hang up all the pirate stuff. Neverland stuff already set underneath, so we don't have to set that during the show. And there we go. So these are all set on chairs. Some of the costume changes happen side of stage. Oh, all the lights have just gone out. All the lights have just gone out. But look how festive it looks in here with all the lights gone out. So festive. But we'll maybe resume this once the lights come back on and find out what's happening. In their first costumes now, and I just want to show you the pirate ship because it's quite cool going on, and it's one of my favourite moments of the show when Zach, our company manager, the cue is Peterborough shouts really loudly, anchors away instead of go, and it's really fun. So here's the pirate ship. Oh, it's really fuzzy.
Hello guys, so welcome to stage left. As you can see, it's a bit smaller than stage right, but we're about to do a very big quick change, which is the full male ensemble from their Neverlander costumes, which they're currently wearing during this song, into their pirate costume. And I thought I'd give you an idea of how crazy it can get in this very tiny space. So let's see what happens when they come off.
We have a little competition with this.
Mostly between Tyler and Jamie.
And
between Tyler and Tyler.
And I win all the time.
Time.
And we're done.
So that was the chaos that was that, and welcome to what is left behind.
I thought I'd just show you Georgie getting her new wings because it's Georgie's chapter and it's exciting, and we do it in the wings. So Jane's going to be on my lovely camera lady. So she's currently dying on screen. No. Oh, she's about to come on.
It's just silent, sounds like someone should be singing. It's me.
And then she gets hooked up to our harness. And flies! Georgie's getting hooked up to the harness. Here we go. So we're quite lucky, we're in the interval now. We're quite lucky that we have quite a lot of time after the last change. So we do most of our interval preset in the last sort of 5-10 minutes of the show when everyone's on stage. But I'll show you what we've done. So we've got the boys. Charlie hasn't actually come back around the stage because the boys, the male ensemble stay in their pirate outfits after the sea creatures. So we've just reset that, all ready for show 2. We've got sea creature on this chair. We've got sea creatures, then pirate, then Netherlander. Sea creatures, Tony's finale, more sea creatures under mermaids, mermaids on top of Neverlanders, and then outside of the quick change, this is Ace's talking mermaids costume, and then we've got the big character heads. We've got an octopus and a jellyfish, not an octopus, a lobster, and a big jellyfish, ready for the beginning of Act 2. So yeah, we're all set up. So now we can have a quick drink and be ready for Act 2 beginners. See you then. So we're side of stage, top of Act 2, and this is the sea creatures. Here's Freya, here's Maria, our assistant stage manager. He gets to be a fish. Yay, fish! Got lobster. Tyler hasn't quite got his on yet because it's very big. Octopus over here. Here we go, here's Tyler. I'm gonna say these are probably everyone's favourite outfits, right? That's the mermaids as well. This is the costume part I was going to show you. So this is the sort of basic one where we've got all the all the characters down this side, and then we've got all the scenes along the top, and then the little ticks are who's in which scene. And so for instance, like this Pirates Cove one, Peter's in it but he's not in it until sort of the second half of the scene, so it all tells us. And then we've got action effects and songs down the bottom, and then this is my Bible, my little folder of everything. And then we've got a more detailed one here, which is just for us, which says like, sorry, it's in a folder so you can't really see, sort of like literally what everybody's wearing. And then we also have like setting lists, interval setting lists. This is just a copy of what's before, washing instructions. These are sort of all my notes from before. And then I also have this folder of what everybody's wearing and all pictures. So we make all these notes so that if like I was ill or any of the dresses were ill, we'd know someone else could come in, hopefully, and do our job without too much of an issue, is the theory. So yeah, so we've just had the 15-minute call for the second show. Apparently I got way too into this and recorded too much and the battery ran out on the camera. So we have reset for the second show. We collected the laundry, so a lot of the things I have two of. So we've got some laundry down here that we'll put in after the show. We've just collected from people's dressing rooms, and we've put some stuff in the tumble dryer just to make it not really wet when they put it back on. That will also get washed after the second show. And now I'm gonna go back down to stage and hopefully get some bits from the second half of the show, second half of the second act, when the camera died. So it's a 1 o'clock show we just had, and then this is a 5 o'clock show. So we only had about an hour in between, just enough to grab something to eat and reset, and then we're now off again. So I'll see you back down on stage. It's really bad lighting in here, but I'm just in the quick change room, and I thought while no one was here I would show you what's in my little dressing bag. So all of his dresses have a little bag, and we have like a few essentials in it. So we've got my little needle case with needles already threaded for any emergencies. Some little tiny little scissors. These are actually my favourite scissors. I've had these for so long and they're really good. I use them to literally cut everything. They're not special fabric scissors, anything, and they're great. Head torch, dresser essential, because we do a lot of stuff in the near dark and have to do up tiny little hooks and things, so that's always an essential. And also everyone always wants light. They're always like, oh, does anyone have a light? So even not dressing, a good one to have. Some more hair clips. We've got quite a few wigs on the show, and hair clips always go missing. They fly off on stage, in the lift, literally everywhere. You can never have too many hair clips. I actually need to get some more because, as you can see, we've gone through quite a lot, and I only got these yesterday, day before yesterday. Hand sanitizer, always good. Touching active sweaty clothes. Need some hand sanitizer. Also, everyone gets ill, it's Christmas, so always good to have. More hair grips, more hand sanitizer, because both of them are running out. Little box of safety pins, if we can't fix something. If we don't have enough time to fix something before someone goes back on the stage, you can stick a little safety pin in it, as long as it's not going to hurt them. It's not anywhere too delicate, or might come undone. It's always good to have. Stage crew also appreciate a safety pin every so often when something happens to the set. Tissues, obvious reasons. Bigger scissors, in case the little ones don't do it, I guess. Some thread. I'm pretty sure I've got quite a few threads in here. Black and white, I mean, they're the main ones. In emergency, it doesn't really matter what colour you use, I guess. You can always fix it later, but they're the essentials. A Sharpie. Yeah, right on the wig blocks, whose they are. Don't use it quite so much anymore. Although we do have a little thing, where are we, up here, that says, there's the little poster up there. It says how many shows we've got left. Not that we're wishing it away. So, can use that. Some smints, not many left. Always good to feed the cast and yourself. Some hooks and eyes. We've got a lot of hooks and eyes in the show, and they always break. And as I did the little sewing earlier of the rip in the underarm that I filmed, I like to do men's when I've got a bit of time. As I said earlier, like, there are little breaks in this, so I like to use them to do men's on costumes that aren't being used at the moment, so then I don't have to do them in the morning. Another Sharpie. I've just realised, I think Adam said he left a Sharpie in here the other day, and I obviously got tidied into my bag, so I'll have to return that to you, Adam. More thread, hair bands, and another box, and some lip balm, a rogue needle, 2 rogue needles, and some pens. This one's a launch pen, which is always, the names always come off things, so it's good to have another one. And here's Georgia, so I'll leave you there. Just thought I'd show you the crocodile because it's really cold. Here is Georgia getting into her clam.
What have you got to hide from me?
Her wobbly clam. A pretty mermaid.
Quick change.
And Beth. Quick change done. But we couldn't show you because the boys were naked. And here is Asa. Oh no! Where is Asa? Asa's there. The elf on the shelf has been climbing the pirate ship. Well, the pirate dinghy. He made a stage debut yesterday, and now he can't get enough. Also, the boys are just playing on the pirate ship set up here, having a lovely time. Look at the finale feathers! Beth and her beautiful finale outfit! Give us a spin! Yay! This is Ace's favourite part of the show, where he gets this massive headdress. Need to go back, further back. Doesn't all fit in.
My name's Ace Riley and I'm a Palatine Victoria's Secret.
Gives your first Victoria's Secret walk. Love it.
Real men wear feathers.
Ace out. So we're nearly at the end of the show, and I'm going to give Georgie back her camera, but just to explain what happens. Basically we reset for the next one, collect all the laundry, put it in the washer, and we start it all again tomorrow. So it's bye from Team Wardrobe, and hopefully maybe you've learned something. Maybe it's been really boring, a lot of laundry, who knows, but hopefully you've enjoyed